They gave me 24 hours to get out." Karen stood there with the eviction notice like she'd just won a prize. "You don't belong here," she said smugly. "HOA rules." I didn't argue. I just went inside, came back with a single folder, and handed it to her. She opened it, read the first page, and went pale. "This is federal," she stammered. I smiled. "Exactly. I'm not going anywhere." The day started the way I liked it best. Quiet. The kind of quiet that only came with this property. Early light spilling through the tall pines, a soft mist rising off the grass, and the faint sound of the lake a few hundred yards away. My coffee sat in my hand, still hot, while I leaned against the porch railing, just listening to the world wake up. I'd only been living here a few weeks, still unpacking, still getting used to the rhythm of the place. Most of my time was spent fixing things, sanding the porch steps, tightening the dock planks, replacing old window screens. There was something satisfying about working with your hands and then sitting back to look at what you'd done. That piece ended with the crunch of tires on gravel. At first, I figured it was a delivery truck, or maybe one of the neighbors. But then I heard a car door slam, then another, then a third. Voices followed, brisk, clipped words that carried a tone I recognized immediately. People on a mission. When I turned toward the driveway, there she was, Karen. HOA president, self-appointed queen of the neighborhood, the woman who'd already sent me 2 nasty letters about unapproved modifications to my porch railing. Today, she wasn't alone. 2 other HOA board members flanked her like bodyguards, clipboards in hand. All 3 marched down my drive with the kind of determination you usually see in debt collectors or people about to serve a warrant. Karen didn't even bother with a greeting. She just stopped at the base of my steps, pulled a piece of paper from her folder, and smoothed it out like she was unrolling a royal decree. "You have 24 hours to vacate this property," she announced. I blinked. "Excuse me?" "This residence is in violation of HOA bylaws," she said, her voice dripping with satisfaction. "You are not in compliance with multiple regulations, and as such, your occupancy is terminated effective immediately. You have until this time tomorrow to leave." Behind her, the 2 board members nodded like she'd just quoted gospel. I took a sip of coffee. "You do realize I owned this place, right?" Karen's smile didn't falter. "Ownership is irrelevant if you refuse to abide by the rules of this community. This is a managed neighborhood. We have standards." I let my eyes flick to the paper she was holding. It was stamped with the HOA letterhead and littered with bullet points about my infractions. Things like failure to submit landscaping plan and unapproved structural changes. My favorite, improper use of exterior lighting. "Karen," I said slowly, "you think you can just evict me in 24 hours? "I don't think it," she said, chin lifting. "I know it." By now, a few neighbors had emerged onto their porches. Some pretended to water plants or check mailboxes, but everyone was listening. HOA drama was the morning entertainment. Karen clearly enjoyed the audience. She handed me the paper like she was presenting a gift. "Sign here to acknowledge receipt. We expect the property vacated by tomorrow at noon." I didn't sign it. I didn't even take it from her hand. Instead, I just looked at her for a long moment. She was waiting for me to argue, to protest, to beg for more time. That was how she worked. pressuring people until they folded. But I wasn't going to fold. "All right," I said evenly. "You'll have your answer in a bit." Her brows lifted slightly, maybe surprised I wasn't exploding or pleading. But she covered it quickly with another smug smile. "Fine, I'll check back later today, but don't think you can stall your way out of this." As she turned and marched back toward her convoy of SUVs, I went inside, straight to my office. The file I needed was in the bottom drawer of my locked cabinet. I pulled it out and set it on my desk. A plain manila folder, nothing dramatic, but inside was everything. Federal authorization, letters of jurisdiction, documents signed and sealed by agencies that outranked anything the HOA could dream of being. I flipped through the pages, feeling the familiar satisfaction I always did when I remembered exactly who had my back. If Karen thought a little neighborhood bylaw could override federal standing, she was about to have a very bad day. I closed the folder, slid it under my arm, and poured myself a fresh cup of coffee. I wasn't in a rush. Let her think she'd won for a few more hours. Because when I walked back out there with these papers, her whole world was going to shift.